Good morning. Welcome back. Deadly toxic algae and flesh-eating bacteria spreading up the East Coast. 3 dogs just died in North Carolina, and in Connecticut, a man was forced to have his leg amputated. What is going on, and should we all be concerned? Here to weigh in is infectious disease specialist Dr. Amesh Adalja. Doctor, thank you for being with us today. So it is summertime. Everybody wants to go in the water, but should we? What's going on here?
You absolutely should go in the water. You have to remember when you see these headlines, they are often very rare occurrences that really have pose no risk to the average person. These are kind of exceptional circumstances that end up grabbing headlines and scaring a lot of people, but they aren't a major threat for most people.
Okay, so we heard about this blue-green algae that killed these 3 dogs. So these 2 people had 3 dogs. They went into the water, and all 3 of them ended up dying within hours of each other. And the vet said it's because the lake that they were swimming in had blue-green algae. So what is that, and how do we avoid that?
So blue-green algae is actually a type of bacteria, and it's actually very important in the history of the Earth. It's actually what makes the oxygen in the atmosphere. Oh. But what happens is sometimes they can produce toxins, and dogs and animals may not be put off by the smell of that algae and ingest it, and those toxins can cause a lot of problems in animals. It doesn't really cause that type of disease in humans, and humans aren't actually drinking all of that water when they're swimming. Most times the algae smell gets them away, or there's a warning, don't swim here.
Oh, okay, all right. So people with pets at home, should they, stick to swimming pools for the time being, or are you saying that it's okay for animals to go into water in most cases?
I think in most cases it's fine. If there is some big amount of algae there, or if there's been a warning about the algae in the area, then I think they probably should refrain from having their animals in there.
And then in Connecticut, a man was swimming in a body of water there, and he had to have his leg amputated because of flesh-eating bacteria. And that was because he had a cut on his leg at the time, right?
Right. So you have to remember that water isn't sterile. There's lots of different bacteria there, and we go in water lots of times. And there are certain people with medical conditions, for example, liver disease, that can get certain bacteria in salt water, and it can get in a little minor cut and cause a very devastating infection. And that looks like what happened in Connecticut.
Okay. So some of the symptoms of this toxic algae is itching, headache, abdominal pain. If you experience any of those things after going into the water, should you go to the doctor immediately?
I wouldn't say for the toxic algae for humans it's going to require you to see the doctor. If you have any medical conditions that make you have less reserve to deal with those symptoms, I would probably see a doctor. Obviously, if you've ingested that water or have any kind of difficulty doing your daily living, I would go see a doctor.
Okay, so your advice is still swim, right?
Correct, yeah.
All right, good. Thank you so much.